What's happening, Vince?
Yo.
Get any rest last night?
Yeah.
Okay.
The long rest.
Is anything going on today? I have two things I'm about to send you. It's just screenshots if you could put after the slide.
Hey Jalen, how you doing, man?
Good.
Good morning.
How are you
What's
doing?
going on, partner? Good.
I got your message about your bio.
Yeah, I'm revising it,
Okay.
but I just kind of sent it out there. I sent it to 13 of my friends, let them kick it around.
Okay. What's the feedback that you've gotten so far?
Well, Angela said it's more looks like I'm a buyer's agent, which I'd rather be a seller's agent, to be honest with you. But I'll take both. And then I got two really smart friends that sent back with new reversions, way better than what I sent you.
Okay.
One's a PhD theologist and one is a PhD writer. So they, oh man, they killed it. But I would just crank that out.
Do you mind, if you don't mind, share the reversion with me, and after the meeting, I'll take a look.
Yeah, I just got it, so this morning, I have time to send it, the revision out. But yeah, I will.
Hey, morning.
Which one? Okay. Yeah. I don't ask those questions.
Kimberly, maybe you didn't know that the meeting was canceled today. Hello.
Put my bag on?
Yeah.
There's a bill up in here?
Today it is very different than usual.
Why, there's usually more people.
Yeah, it definitely is. But no. I'll just send it to you.
So Angela, where's the next trip? Have you figured out, like the next biggie?
The big one, I don't know, another one is back home, so I just have to go back
Yes,
to
I'll
Illinois
tell
next
Bethany,
month.
good girl, as soon as we do one last like push.
Push through, yeah, awesome. It will be, oh, thank you. I didn't even think about that, it will definitely be snowing.
Well, I spent the weekend with all my buddies, one of them was in Chicago, you know. He was inviting all of us out to go play his golf course and everything, he goes, but we got like a couple weeks left,
Yeah.
you know.
By Halloween, it's usually really cold out.
Yeah.
Thanks. Wow.
Yeah, we gave him a new nickname. His nickname is Ethan.
I will probably have to buy a different coat.
Where are you going?
November 18th.
Well, you never know.
What did it say?
See, that's girl math right there.
Not in Chicago.
That's girl
But I have to
math.
buy another coat?
Yeah.
It's gonna be cold. I remember when we moved here, about 2 years later, we had to go back up, my uncle was in hospice. And it was just enough time where the kids outgrew their winter coats. So we drove up there, and as soon as we crossed from Kentucky into Tennessee, Tennessee into Kentucky, you can see the rain turned from rain to slush, and further north it went to snow. We had nothing. It was 18 degrees outside.
You're like, where's Burlington go?
That's the first place we went.
Walmart?
Yeah.
Walmart's gonna have
Man, Did you buy breakfast?
No, I thought it would
Breakfast
be
is on the way.
here.
Oh, it's on the way.
What you put in that email that really ticked everybody
Hey,
off?
Daniel, Dan?
I was in
Good
There's
morning.
some type of coup
Hello,
going on.
hello.
pills that I need to take and I can't.
Yeah.
So what were you
So they order.
Morning, sir. So bow tie every time? Is that gonna be your mantra?
I got other ties. I'm
I like
having
it
fun
though.
right now.
I like it though, I like it a lot.
He does full coats.
Going down Ridgely Road and the car was coming out of subdivision and then that's
What you think about it?
Morning.
Again,
How are you, sir?
I'm gonna send
Good, thank you.
God. And I took it
Like-
today and it's.
Oh my
one
God.
of the neighbors said that.
You hit her off.
Oh, yeah.
You know, let's go and get started. Evidently, people are getting ready for the storm. It's not coming this way.
Yeah, because I was like,
Getting ready for the
I
storm,
recognize
so,
the back.
Anyway, somebody give me some good news. Somebody give us some good news.
Yes.
Joe, would you like to introduce our newest recruit?
Yeah, it's literally.
Sure.
Wow.
If you don't mind, Daniel.
Yeah.
This is Daniel Larkin.
Hello, everybody, I'm Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Some people call him Boston Dan. He's from Boston. Daniel comes from a history. He has a plumbing business that services Cobb County. Daniel has very much a wealth of knowledge and a great base of customer service that he has provided in the past. He has a number of skills that will transition into real estate, and you're gonna see him in a sharp bow tie every time you see him. And so everybody welcome Dan.
Welcome,
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so we have a book here now. He goes by Dan, but he said, maybe should I be Daniel because it will be better for real estate? Who thinks Daniel's better for real estate? Who thinks Dan's better for real estate? Who doesn't have an opinion? Student opinion.
I mean,
Yeah, it's gonna be you, all you.
Yeah, that's me, I'm Dan.
Yeah, I'll be Dan. I'll be just Dan. I think that's good. All right. And good morning. Any other good news this morning? Something you want to share with? Yes, ma'am.
I made it here today.
All right,
Yeah.
so tell me what you mean by that.
Amen.
Saturday was supposed to be a very relaxing day. Supposed to read my books and do my homework and just relax. And it turned into a trip to the emergency room. And had a car accident. My car is totaled. Everybody's fine. Yeah, it was very scary.
Isn't that how your hip got hurt the first time?
Yes.
I was thinking about that when I heard.
Yeah.
So physically, you look
Stiff?
I'm very stiff. I'm very sore. My head hurts. My neck hurts. Bare back deployed.
She's here.
And
So other than that, you're great.
other than that, yeah,
They,
you know.
they checked you out, though, nothing, no re-damage to your hip or anything.
They did an x-ray of the hips, nothing's broken, they're only gonna do x-rays initially. So I'm just taking it easy.
Yes.
And,
What does easy look like? What's that road? It's
It's
only
not
75
easy.
miles an hour rather than 110.
Means still coming into the
Is that easy
office,
for you?
so yes.
I will be, I'm doing half day. So I'll do a couple hours of work, I'll be here until the meeting's over and then it's back
You
to
need
the
a ride
couch
home?
with the heating pad on. I've been on my couch with a heating pad all weekend and most of yesterday.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here.
Yes, you sure are.
We're great for you.
Mommy Bob offered to take you home.
I have a rental.
Okay, you need anything, you know, you need drive, need doesn't drive that much, so whatever you need, girl.
One thing I did do, I turned my lemon into lemonades. I reached out to my database and let them know that I was in an accident, if they had an attorney that they can recommend to send in my way.
There you go.
And so I had 25 people out of my database respond with recommendations or just well wishes. So it was a reverse 100.
You wanna know the top ones, just get on television for about an hour. On television. We get you rather 100,000, we get you 10 million, so there we are. Anyway, we're very thankful that you're okay, that makes you will be fine. Because you all know that Ed Morgan was hit by a car a few months ago, right?
Yeah.
Everybody know that? They actually ran over his foot.
Yeah.
No, this was a few months ago.
When it was, you know, that's it, but Ed is, that's what Ed does well, that's, he just keeps on moving, doesn't worry about it, which I love that, all right? You said you had some good news?
Oh, yeah, I just, hate turning my back to people, so forgive me. I just wanna encourage you guys to stay in touch with your database and work on relationships. Stay in touch with your people, love on them, you never know when they might need you. So I recruited Austin Scott, some of you guys remember him, when he first got licensed. And he was here for a while, and then he went elsewhere. And so I just stayed in touch with him. And so we took him to family reunion in February, and after that, we stayed in touch. And I said to Jim, Jim's like, I would love to have him back in the office, and I said, in leadership. Remember that conversation? So you never know what's going on in people's hearts. Forget what you see on Facebook, just throw it out. So I reached out to him and we started a conversation between him, Gene, and Michael. Not knowing that he was getting bored with what he was doing and ready to make another move. So he made a move last week, and he's now back with the Rawls Group as a TL in Smyrna Violence.
Oh, wow.
So I just wanna encourage you guys, sometimes you're doing a DTD2 and all of this stuff and people are not reaching back to you, don't worry about it, they hear you. And when they're ready, they'll reach back to you, so just keep doing the work, okay? It's the process, it's not the results. You're like,
Anyway, we're glad that Austin's back, and he's a really, really good guy. Well, and so they're loving Smyrna Violence, so anyway, that's cool. Any other good news we need to talk about? Anybody else here for the very first time I have not introduced? Anybody at all? All right, who's up? Let's see. You're up.
Good morning.
Is that correct?
Carrie Green?
I'm Carrie with Thomas and Brown, featured on this fabulous mug on all your show.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys. We have a CE class coming up on Thursday from 1 to 4. It's gonna be closing pillars and ways to avoid those. It will be 3 hours worth of CE, and we're gonna have some snacks sponsored by our neighbors and friends. And then we also have a happy hour. Actually, we have 2 coming up. One at Marlowe's on November 7th, specifically for this office. And then we're doing one in Buckhead on October 24th at Gypsy Kitchen. So I'll send that out to everyone if you want to come. It'll be a lot of different offices too, so some fun networking there. And then I feel like we have something else. Oh, Code of Ethics, because everyone's been asking about this as well. November 14th at 1 o'clock, same room right here. Look how cute this is.
What's the frequency we need to go to ethics?
every 3-year cycle.
Hi, Sherry.
One every 3.
One every 3.
And then
law.
Code of ethics, right?
One every 2.
Because everyone thinks it's every year.
No, 4?
Yeah,
No, she
one
said
every
4.
four. One every 4.
4.
For
And
law.
the new cycle starts in January, so you'll have to take it again after December, once within that 3-year cycle.
I feel like everyone should write this down everywhere, because we get calls every October and November. I need it right now. I'm like, no, you literally just took it. And so anyway, but the good news is we will have it offered no matter when you need it, so.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Go
Carrie.
ahead, guys, thank you so much.
You gotta run up. Yes, thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Danielle Delaney with Silverton Mortgage.
I'm Reed Clark with Silverton Mortgage. His name's Clark in the back right there. Everybody say, hey, Clark.
Hey, Clark.
So first thing I'll mention, guys, is this. This guy's gonna have to change his script, I think, because he was talking about how rates drop and everything. But anyway, it's Thursday the 17th. It's a live stream. This is the guy who's the managing director of MGIC, which is one of the bigger PMI companies in the country. And so it's called live stream, The Return of Home Buyers. So let's hope that that turns out to be accurate. So here's a Mortgage Rate Watch. How many of y'all, I remember I told you that's a great place for y'all to watch. So you'll have an idea of trends and get probably the best information that you can get as a consumer about where rates are in general. So here's the article from yesterday afternoon. Highest mortgage rates in 2 months. Now, who expected that? I wish I could say I did. Yes, rates. We've got clients who, well, I'm gonna wait because And now I'm gonna cue Danielle.
Yeah, so we've had an uptick in refinance inquiries, and I have a previous client that's looking, their current rate 7.99. I have them locked in at 5.75, locked in when rates were down. And he's coming back, he's saving $1,000 a month on his monthly payment. But he's coming back like, well, you know, it looks like rates are gonna go down by 0.5 point in the next 6 to 12 months. So I think
Wait, his daddy told him.
his dad told him,
Right.
yes.
Oh, even better.
So I'm on the phone with his dad, like, let's talk about this, you know,
That's
so.
Got the
$1,000.
hunch.
That's
Yes,
all.
$1,000, I know. So I would,
So
I
I-
mean, take the savings while you can.
Well,
but
think
I
about it. So
mean,
like, I might be able to save 1,200, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the psychology there. And I don't know about y'all, but same thing with real estate, you learn a lot about people's psychology in this job. And how
It
people-
reminds me of COVID refis,
Oh,
when
yeah.
people were in the twos and they're like, I'm gonna hold out for 1.99. I'm not kidding you.
It's
I'm gonna hold
true.
out for
It's like,
1.99.
I can lock you at 3% a day, I don't know, my buddy got 2.75. You're at 6.5 now, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I had a guy, now on the positive side, I had a guy who was not reluctant to go ahead and pull the trigger. I had a guy who I financed him in 2018. He bought a house that was about, I think it was about 600,000 then. Well, it's almost 9,000 the value, 900,000 value now. We refinanced him, he paid off all his debts, and he had run up some debt, cars, credit cards, different things like that. Now, his rate went up to 6.25, but he's saving $1,700 a month. I mean, that is dramatic. I mean, that changes the whole calculus in your family. So those are the opportunities right now, and I think that it's just interesting, and I would tell people, please don't focus too much on what the interest rates are or what they're gonna do, because you know what, nobody knows. We've, anytime Hunter's been up here or I've been up here, we told you what the experts are saying, but we try to say it with a caveat, but they don't know, right? So anyway, rates right now are back in the mid-6s, I would say. About 6.5 with no point, something like that. And that's where they are. And people still need to buy houses. And we still need to take care of them. So, anybody any questions? Yes, sir.
So should people be rooting for that quarter basis point drop the next 2 times? Is this the impact that we've seen so far?
Unexpected consequences. No, I think you should be rooting for that, because if that happens, that indicates that the Fed still believes that inflation is on a downward trend. Part of the problem is that the jobs data, I don't know how many of y'all saw my Instagram or Facebook post last week, was the jobs data came out Friday, and it showed 254 or 264,000 new jobs created, where the forecast had been 150,000 new jobs created. So the problem with that is that the economy is still strong, which indicates that inflation still may be on the radar, right? The Fed is hoping to see new jobs decrease. Actually, they don't really want to see the unemployment rate increase too much, because they have a dual mandate. You know, control interest rates and keep unemployment level. So right now, that's what the markets did. They saw that jobs data and went, oh my gosh, is inflation really under control or not? So it'll be interesting to watch.
The last time they did that, 2 months later, they revised that number.
Yeah, well, that's part of the other problem too, is it's getting to the point now where the Bureau of Labor Statistics report, the BLS report, people are getting where they don't trust it, because it's getting revised big time 2 months after the number comes out. So where are these numbers coming from? What's really the situation? But there's one part that we can control, our little sphere, right? And that's what I would say focus on. Don't focus on stuff you can't, don't worry about stuff you can't control, and don't worry about stuff you can control. Do it, control it. So, that's all we got.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good guys, thank you. I want to sponsor Roof It Forward. Come on, Roof It Forward. Came out, looked at my roof, and told me my roof was good shape. I went, yay!
We're in good shape.
Exactly right, yeah. Good to see you.
Jim.
As
Yeah.
always. Come on.
I'll keep it brief today. I'm Ryan, for anybody I haven't met. Been just want to appreciate you guys and thank y'all for our partnership. We're wrapping up 7 years this year. Been working with y'all, which is awesome. So, my one little takeaway, other than there's a bunch of food out there. I was coming in on 2 wheels because traffic was terrible this morning. So there's a bunch of Chick-fil-A if you want something. But we are helping with a lot of the hurricane stuff. Right now, Augusta and Valdosta, I've got teams in both areas. So if y'all know anybody through the business or personally that needs help, let us know. We're working with tree vendors and stuff like that. We're getting trees off houses in Augusta every day right now because it's been traumatic. So we've got this other lovely storm coming in, I'm sure everyone's heard about with Milton, Category 5. So we have parts of our companies that are based in Jacksonville, Orlando, and Tampa. So we'll be boots on the ground. That's in our backyard for our Florida folks. So again, if you have anybody, I got a stack of cards by the food in there. Please let me know, reach out to me. I'm one of the senior managers with our company, so I've got a manager that works under me in every single market. So let me know. It wouldn't be obviously me personally taking care of you like I do here at home, but I'll make sure you get in the right hands and or your loved ones or friends and stuff like that. If you haven't worked with me before, we do free video roof inspections. If you need anything, you just let us know. We'll go out and take a look at it, video what's going on. A lot of roofs have become a lot stickier this year, as a lot of my buddies in the room know. Insurance doesn't want to cover people nearly as easily. So get us out as early as you can, especially my folks that have worked with us for a long time. They're doing a good job of getting us out before they list, so we can check everything out on the front end and just make sure we're good to go. Especially if it's in that 15-year and older mark. That's when they're really getting pinned and flagged pretty consistently. But other than that, that's pretty much what I got for y'all. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. I've been seeing ads lately
Yeah.
of a company that says they can come out and do something, whitewash on your roof or do something and give it 5 more years. You'll be in your roof. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, there's soft wash companies out there
Yes.
now. I don't know if it's necessarily gonna change the longevity, but it will make it look a lot prettier. I'll
As long as
say,
it looks pretty, right?
for you guys though, it is something to consider, because like the north facing slope of the roof has all the black algae on it. And even like doing this for so long, my wife will look at the roof and be like, oh, that one looks terrible. I'm like, it's actually not that bad, it just is ugly. So around year 10 for most products, that's when that algae starts to develop, very, very much so. It actually protects the roof because it adds a layer of film, but it just looks terrible. So the soft wash companies will spray a chemical up there and they'll either do a soft wash or let it rain and it just removes that algae off of it. So it is something that can spruce up from an aesthetic standpoint. If you have a house that their front slope, for all your good pictures is just black, it's something to look into. And I've got a referral I can send you if you need that.
Great, that's great. Thank you.
Appreciate you,
You brought
Ryan.
some breakfast in this, guys. Go get them, okay?
Yeah, thank you. You guys, whoever doesn't know Ryan, make sure you know him. He's awesome, so we always appreciate you. We call, you daddy now?
I am.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
First little one, 5 weeks old.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's why you look tired.
I've actually been sleeping pretty decently, so Mama's been up with him, but I speak now because tonight's my first night of doing middle of the night feeding, so
Oh,
that shift is now transitioning. So, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Eric.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay, Y4C2Ts. Let's see, let's, who should I pick on today? Let me pick on Rob. Which is your favorite Y4C2Ts today?
Integrity.
Right, tell me why.
I, regardless of what you've got going on and wanting to close because you haven't closed in a while or something like that, and there's something that, you know, you think you could talk someone through and everything, but is it really the right thing to do, right? So when you always think about, am I gonna sleep good tonight, right? That's my kind of go-to. Whatever's happening, I always say, you know what? It is what it is, and I am gonna sleep like a baby tonight, regardless if it's good for me or bad. And the bad happens, and it does pull up all of us because we're in a commission-based business. Just had it, and so I think that is huge.
Good one.
Integrity is one of my very favorite ones up there, guys, because once you lose the trust for someone, integrity goes away, it's hard to get that trust back. So that's one of my favorite ones also. It's like asking which is your favorite child. Okay, let's talk about the haunted house listing contest. Sherry, let's give Sherry a hand, yeah, Sherry.
I'm gonna have to I lost my real glasses, so I've got my readers, and so I can't, y'all are really fuzzy back there. So we have got our second annual Haunted House Listening Contest. It kick-started October the 1st. It runs through the end of October the 31st. Everybody had emailed instructions, but guess what? I know how y'all like paper, so I printed right here, so I'm gonna pass these out in just a minute. There are individuals compete against individuals, teams compete against teams, groups compete against groups. So just keep that in mind. If you look through here, there's a laundry list of ways that you can collect points. And the individual, the team, and the group at the end of October with the most points will win monetary prizes. Yet to be determined, but definitely gonna be worth your effort. There's several ways that you can collect points. Taking listings in the month of October, that means that listing agreement, the acceptance date has to be October 1st through October 31st, okay? Even when you take listings in October, if y'all don't upload it in command, I have no idea that you took that listing. So as soon as you get your listings, please upload them so we can give you points for them. And then we have the alphabet scavenger hunt. Here is a laundry list of ways to earn points, A through Z. Some of these are super easy, like wearing your name badge upside down, taking a picture of it and posting it on Facebook. There's lots of ways to earn points, so just look through there, pick out 5 or 6 of your favorite. If you're feeling frisky, do the whole alphabet, and you get bonus points if you complete the whole alphabet. Guys, the efforts that you put in for October and last year, our numbers showed it. The effort that you put in this month to getting listings, building your pipelines will pay off in December and January for you, hands down. So here it is, have fun with it. Pair up, if you're not on a team, if you're an individual agent, pair up with 3 or 4 other agents and just make it a friendly little competition between yourselves, just so you can get that support and camaraderie going on with this. Any questions? We've already got a couple of names up on our board downstairs for listings. I think Liz Cohen, Kelly Allen, Miss Angela Presley, and Stephanie. Yes, you're already you're already up on the board downstairs for listings taken in the month of October. All right, guys.
Awesome.
Anything? Have fun with it.
Thank you.
Thank
Bring
you.
it back.
Thank you, Sherry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Quan Trivia Night, that is coming up this Saturday night at Patty Jackson's house. Even if you're bad at trivia, you should come. It'll be a fun party. It's 6:30 to 9:30 at her house. I was at her house last weekend. She had a wonderful barbecue for her client base. I don't know, 75, 100 people there. So she is still ready for us this Saturday night. It's gonna be beautiful weather. So guys, please come on. You do need to RSVP. You can scan that or just look online, and they can do it online also, right, Kimberly? They've got a couple ways, so please come to trivia night. It will be fun. You will enjoy it, and you may even learn something. Spectacular event. Is Sherry still here? She just left us. Anyway, guys, this was one of our best events last year. We realized that we are not the best at doing a lot of events because there's a lot of families in here that like to be together on the weekend and watch football games on the weekend, or some people like to do other stuff, go out on a day on the weekend. But this is something that happens every year, or at least happened last year, this year, and it's one of the best things you can invite your client base to. East Cobb Park, just down here about a half a mile. And it's October 16th. It is from 4 to 6. There's a DJ. It's a costume contest, food and drinks, games, and kids crafts, all kinds of stuff. Great touch for your database to call them and say, come on, bring chairs with you because we're running out of chairs there pretty soon. Guys, that's coming up soon. Put it on your calendar, and you need to make phone calls for this because they will love to get invited. If they do not come, they love that you invite them to something that is the right price, which is free. Bowl registration. All right, now if you're sitting in this room right now and you are a licensed agent and you've not signed up for this, you need to sign up for this. Let me tell you why. Several reasons. Number one, if you've heard about bowl, well, it's fine, but it's sort of old and dated. Well, that's out the window. Gary Keller is writing this himself. He's writing it for today. So guys, all I want you to do is just to come on this first step right here. It is free. Come and look at First Step. Just see what you think about it. Marcus is incredible. He is a great bowl leader. And I've also been told that the people that sign up for bowl, Arthur, you don't know this yet. Gary Keller is going to, have a, he's gonna have a Zoom class every single week during Bowl to talk about Bowl. And what's going on, and so is Jason Abrams, and so is Cody Gibson. So guys, you're gonna get a lot of things, good morning, you're gonna get a lot of things with us. So guys, if you're not signed up for Bowl, just shoot me an email and I will sign you up for free. It's JIMA, Jim A at KWRight.com, Jim A at KWRight.com. Let me just let you sign up and see if it's something that's great for you. And Marcus wants to talk to us, go ahead.
Atlanta, Georgia. What's up, guys? Marcus Heflin, your Bowl Coach, coming to you in October. We get to do this again. For all the familiar faces that are watching this video, I can't wait to high five. I can't wait to see your progress over the last year or two, and I cannot wait to see your next step in your journey. For anybody I haven't had the honor to meet yet, come on in. The water's warm. We are going to have 7 weeks of high energy, high purpose behind every activity, and we're gonna grow our business, or yet, we're gonna grow ourselves. I'm excited to bring Bold at the highest level to you, and your leadership has organized this so you can finish this year strong. Let's end 2024 with so much momentum, it carries over to 2025, and we already celebrating before the new year even hits. Guys, sign up early for early registration, all your materials to be there day one instead of later on or maybe the delay. Those that sign up early will definitely benefit from it. Let's get that momentum going, guys. I can't wait to see you in October, and I will talk to you soon.
Now guys, if you really want to finish the year strong and you want to start off next year strong, come do this, come experience it, because you will have a very strong finish and you will start off next year with business. So guys, this is why we put it in October, so please, if you're online listening to me, you're here, please just email me, JIMA@KW.com, and I will sign you up. And by the way, there's only 6 sessions. Gary cut one of them out, so 6 sessions, and we will be finished before Thanksgiving, and you will have lots of extra business. So please sign up and at least see what first step looks like. All right, guys. All right, so there is a wonderful event that's coming Friday night. It's supposed to be last Thursday, but we had a little storm last Thursday, so they postponed it to this Friday. And I have got some extra seats for it. It is a black tie event. You do have to dress up. You cannot wear your favorite jeans. And it's at the Cherokee Town Club on West Paces Ferry Road. It starts, I think the doors open at 6:30, it starts at 7. If you would like to attend this and go to a fancy party with great food and the price is right, come see me or shoot me an email and I will sign you up if you're able to go. You only have 1 ticket at this point because we think that we'll give them all away. But let me know if you'd like to go to this because I'd love to sign you up. Market Center Watch Party. Now, guys, this is something that's exceptional. We have so much going on here, guys, and I know this. We're always doing something. But this is for KW Cares. We're raising money for that, and there's going to be a watch party next week with Mark Willis, with several big speakers. They're going to be there talking about business, not just about what's going on at KW Cares. So this is going to be in place of team meeting next week. More details to come out. But please put this on your calendar because it will be fabulous. Some of the best speakers that you would hear at Family Union will be there talking just to us. So please put that on your calendar. 3 free CE surveying 101. If you want to know about surveying, if you need to get 3 hours, it's coming up on October 17th, which is next on Thursday, from 10 to 1 free CE. Post license, if you need post license, this is something you need to sign up for immediately. If you just want to jump in here and connect with your market or lead generation or grow your database or keep every lead, get to the close, guys. Nobody has this much training as we do in this office. So guys, please put it on your calendar. Even if you don't need the CE, you can jump in and just take one of the classes because there's great instructors for that.
Jump. Just wanted to mention that's Ignite for the 25-hour post-license course.
Post license, yes. That's what we'll see.
Is it here?
Yes.
It's here.
Oh, good.
It's here. All right, lessons learned. Taylor.
Hi, everybody. Jalen Walker.
He's still introducing himself after 6 months, guys. He's still, we know who you are, Jalen.
Maybe not. Jalen Walker, assistant team leader. And first, start out lessons learned. Does anybody have any contract scenarios that have come up over the last week? Any interesting scenarios that you would like to share? Any success stories that you would like to share? No? Alright, well, this lessons learned is gonna be more of a vocabulary. So word we don't see until, we don't wanna see it, and it comes up usually when it happens, and it's devastation. Definition of devastation is great destruction or damage, or severe and overwhelming shock or grief. Who can say within even the last 3 months, they may have experienced some form of devastation?
I was gonna say.
We're lucky if it's only 2 people in this room that have experienced some form of devastation. Just know that your neighbors may be going through things. We have had 2 storms to come through. You have people that have went through personal devastations, whether it be accidents, whether it be loss. And so that's just something I wanted to share. Kimberly, if you can go to the next one, just to be kind to yourself and others in this time. It's a sensitive period. It's a time where tensions are higher than most. We go through a cycle every few years, and it is something where with people going through devastation, you never know what people may be going through. So just a reminder to your clients, a reminder just as coworkers, reminders of staff together, just to be kind to one another, because you never know what others may be going through.
Yes.
Next Tuesday, we have a career night coming up. I'm gonna get in a cycle of doing career nights bi-weekly, and so if you have any referrals, don't hesitate to refer them. We are looking to grow the office actively, strategically, and competitively. We wanna be able to finish strong for this office. If you know anybody that's newly licensed, or if you know anyone that's looking to get their license, we are having another career night next Tuesday. There will be a study session for K-Score by the end of the month. Also, if you know anyone that's in K-Score, taking their course and they want to come in for some in-person interaction, or if they have any questions, we will have a Saturday session soon. And so, thank you for your time. Everybody have a good week.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I want to echo what he says so beautifully, and that is, don't be kind. You have no idea what others are going through right now. Like, I know a couple people in this room that are having some tough times. You would never know it because you won't see it on their face. They won't tell you about it. Guys, do be kind, because, I mean, when someone hollers at you or treats you disrespectfully, you want to jump back down their throat, and you may think, okay, maybe they're having a tough day and I can help them by being a little kind to them. Now, sometimes it takes a little extra kindness. But Jalen, I love the idea of being kind. So anyway, guys, I asked Stephanie to come in today, but before Stephanie gets up here, I thought I would give you guys some key metrics talking points. And you cannot see this very, very well, but I want you to look up here and start up at the very top. New listings. September of 2023, we had 5,700 new listings. September 2024, we have 6,400 new listings. So it's up by 12%, right? So that's significant, okay? The total number of active. Last year at this time, we had 9,600. This year, we've got 14,563 listings, up by 51.6%. And guys, that's significant. I was telling Lace about this week. She said, well, good, Jim, we're moving into a more balanced market. What does that mean? What does balance mean?
Buyers and sellers.
Okay, all right, could mean that, okay, that's great. What else could it mean?
3 to 6 month inventory.
Longer days on market.
6 months inventory is what it classically means. Do we have 6 months worth of inventory?
No, not
We do
yet.
not yet have yet, okay, all right. Number of pending, now this is interesting. Last year, 5,600, this year, 5,700, so up by 2%. And I love that this number is at least up some. That's a good number, okay? Number of closed though, okay? Last year, 4,100, this year, 3,700, down by 9.5, this is almost 10%. Months of supply, last year, it's 2.3 months, and of course, September this year, it's 3.9 months. So that is up. So the people that still believe they can sell their houses in 2 days, they may want to see that statistic, okay? Median sales price, 420,000, is now up to 436,000, which is 3.6%. That's why people go, Jim, I'm going to wait for that 0.5% to go down because I won't be able to save some money. No, you're not, because the house is going to do what? Cost more. It's going to cost more what? Money. And how many people here think that the housing market is going to have a crash and all the prices are gonna go down? If you're holding your hand up, you're in the wrong place. Guys, the prices are not gonna go down. Now, could there something big happen? They could, but even that would be a temporary thing. Just realize they're not going down. So if you're waiting on saving money next year at this time, my guess is that it probably is not gonna happen. Median days in the market, 21, now 35, guys. And so the rest of this is just more stuff you can look at online. But I want us today to focus on these two things right here, okay, guys? Is that last year we had 9,600 listings, year before that about 5,400. Now we're up to 14,563 listings. All right, so Stephanie and I were talking. Come on up, Stephanie. Let's welcome Stephanie Ken. So she's the first one. That's your chair right there, Stephanie. If you like. She was the first one that my eyes came open, and we were in. She's also an ALC. Can we thank her for being on our ALC? So she said, well, Joe, I've got 16 listings, and they're not selling them though. What? Are you sure you do? So anyway, Stephanie, tell us a little bit about, number one, how many listings you have right now, and where they sort of came from, what areas, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna let you talk this for a minute, please.
Sure. So I had another one go live yesterday. So at this point, I've got 19 active listings. I've got 2 listings under contract. I've got 3 more that will go live within the next 7 days, and 3 more that will be live within about the next month and a half to 2 months. I have lived in the Metro Atlanta area for about 38 years, mostly on the north side of 20. So that's kind of my sweet spot, my comfortable space. I've also lived in the North Georgia mountains, and I live at the very top end of where Bartow, Paulding, and Cobb County intersect. So I work the North Georgia mountains a good bit as well. I say all that to say that as I'm, willing to take listings, I'm willing to drive. So I lived in Gwinnett County for 18 years, so I, take a good bit and heavy on that side. Gwinnett, Hall, Walton County even. And everything in between over to here. And because of where I live, Rome is really close to me, so I've got listings that I carry regularly in Rome, as well as up into like Jasper, LJ area.
So all your listings are not in East Cobb?
No. No. I have some at East Cobb, but that's not necessarily my main focus.
And price, give us an idea of price points.
Price point, that's a great question, because I get asked that question by sellers a lot. So
what question do they ask you?
Well, they're asking, what is my average price point? Like what, size homes do I normally sell, what price point? And really, my answer may be a little bit different than yours because I'm on the team. The way our team is structured is we've got 3 listing agents and then everyone else are buyer's agents. It doesn't mean they can't work with listings if they bring them in on their SOI, but as far as team leads, that's handled by me and 2 other listing agents. So because there's just 3 of us that handle the team leads, my listing price point is all over the place, because there's 3 of us that have to divide those up. So I have a land listing right now for $7,500 if anybody's looking for a great deal. And then I work in the luxury space regularly. So I've got listings, $750 and higher, up to $1 million plus. So average, it usually average out to be around 500,000, because I've got a little bit of everything.
What's the average listing price in this office since sale price? Anybody have any idea?
Like
6 something.
575, 600.
Okay, anybody else will guess?
400.
It's right around 525, 535 is what our average is here. And when I first got here, 13 years ago, I think it was 290,000. So it's gone up some, hasn't it? Okay, all right. Price is not going down, guys. Let me tell you that. Okay, so you're right in line with the office, which is great. Cool.
As far as where they're coming from, that's kind of a mixed pot also. There's definitely a handful that I'm getting from the team through different lead sources. And that's everything from Google to just phone calls coming in directly to the office. and then several of the pay and close type referral companies. However, I work very hard on my SOI, and so I've only been licensed a little over 4.5 years, so that's been, kind of a building process. But one thing that I was told when I started 4.5 years ago was to take everything, don't turn down anything. And that will help to build your business, and really, I've kind of maintained that to this day, where there's not much that I won't take. I love what I do. I know a lot of us say that, but that's a very genuine sentiment from me. I love the education side of what I get to do, whether that's with buyers or sellers. I'm a very patient person by nature, so for someone that does not understand, or really especially like a first-time home seller, I love just explaining the entire process and walking them through it. Even yesterday, I got to create an email account for one of my clients because he doesn't know how to do technology.
Yeah.
He tried for an hour, could not figure it out. So, even just down to little things like that, I really genuinely enjoy every bit of what I get to do. So out of my 19 active right now, just to kind of give you some perspective, 3 of those are SOI and 5 of those are repeat clients. Just going back to what Offreen said at the top about, staying in touch with your database and, what Jalen was saying about being kind, and for me, that's huge because a lot of where my business continues to come from, especially during a time where the market is just really hard, has been in my follow-up. And I know we say that all the time, but it really is so true. Working with clients now that, I sold a home to him 3 years ago and now he's ready to sell. Or buyers that were looking 3 years ago and stopped looking for whatever reason and now we're actively looking and they're ready to buy. So, it's just that combination of staying in touch, being genuine, reaching out with care and concern, and just being consistent about it. As I am meeting with sellers, one thing that I have discovered, we all have a superpower or something that we know we can lean into and that helps us in our business. I have discovered that my superpower is trust. Again, it's not something that is forced or fabricated in any way. I think my whole life, people have found me as somebody that they can talk to, that they can trust, that, I hear those deep, dark secrets, but, I enjoy, again, that part of relationship. So building trust is something that I work really hard on in that first meeting, whether it's through a phone conversation first and then meeting with my clients. But the other 2 pieces that are so important besides the trust, and I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, but it's accountability and communication. That accountability and communication has to remain so incredibly strong during the listing process. Even when you're working with a buyer, just staying in constant communication, keeping them updated, telling them the good, the bad, and the ugly. They're looking to us for so much of that. And with the accountability and the communication, that's how that trust is maintained. So if we're lacking in accountability and communication at any point, that's where that trust gets damaged. And like you said, trust is so hard to repair once it's been damaged.
Just a small lie, it's called a lie, that can break the trust. Just a little bit, accountability. All right, so this is just letting them know you. You have another job. It's called being a mom. Tell them about your responsibilities at home, because guys, this is not somebody that wakes up in the morning and has all day to do whatever she pleases. Tell them just a little about home.
Home is interesting. I love my family.
That's a great word. I like that word.
Home has gotten hard over the last few years. We have 13 living under our roof.
Say one more time.
We have 13 living under our roof. My husband and I have been married for 29 years. We have 4 children and 2 grandchildren. all of which are living under our roof, including my mother. So it's one big happy family, just.
Partridge family?
Yeah, just about. There's lots of singing and dancing. We've recently also, my husband and I have custody now of our niece and 2 nephews. So that's where the extras come into play too. So yeah, it's busy. There's a lot of structure. There's a lot of extra time and attention needed from me and from my husband, and when you're balancing your work and family life, and you're trying to make sure that you're giving everybody enough love and attention in every direction. It's more compounded when there are more people, and now we've got our niece and nephews that need just as much of that, if not more, because of their life and circumstances. So yeah, there are a lot of days lately that I'm exhausted. I have to be very intentional about taking time to take care of myself, because I'm no good to anybody else. I'm not in good shape. So yeah, definitely heavy focus on that, but also for us, our faith is very strong. And so making sure that we're carving out time for church and strengthening that relationship and continuing to instill that in our kids too.
So how do you stay in constant communication with your clients with all you have going on at home? Because it looks like that would be like, if you had one listing, there'll be all that you have. How do you make all those pieces of the puzzle work together?
It's harder in the summer when the kids are home, because we've had the kids for several months now. But like right now, I'm very structured in my day, time blocking per se. But I am a night owl. My life and work schedule is just a little bit different than what I guess most agents would say they subscribe to. I'm not a morning person. I am incredibly productive late at night. And so sometimes the kids are in bed, sometimes they're not, but it's not uncommon for me to be emailing like my assistant at 1 o'clock in the morning, because I'm still up at that hour. So I get a lot done late at night. With my phone, I've got Samsung. I've never subscribed to the iPhone, but I'm able to schedule texts. So I set up and schedule a lot of texts late at night for them to hit in the morning. That way, by the time I'm awake, I've had breakfast, I'm up and moving, I have a lot of my answers that I need. So I'm scheduling texts to other agents, to clients, things of that nature. Yeah, and a lot of that is even just, just checking in, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's kind of
So as you look at your 19 listings, which is amazing, I never had that many myself, why do you think they're not selling right now?
That's a great question.
What do you, because you're out there, you're not sitting in the office, you're out there. Tell me why you think they're not selling right now.
I think it's definitely a combination of things. I think a lot, what we've all been seeing and experiencing, just, the slowdown of buyers, their hesitation because of interest rates, hesitation because of the election year, things of that nature. I kind of broke them down. Out of the 19, 7 of them have been on market for 3 or a little more than 3 months. 6 have been around that 2-month range, and then 6 of them are at 30 days or less. A couple of them I know were a little bit overpriced. Some of that was the sellers just, needing to get as much as they could get. I'm not always a fan of pricing that way. I very rarely do. But a couple of those that was the case. So we've made price adjustment. So we're doing all the things that we do. I have to like hearing yourself 6 times. So we've made price adjustments. We're leaning into those things, and the sellers are getting a little bit better about it. I think for a handful of my sellers, they waited too long to reach out to start listing their home, knowing that they, based on what they know of the past market, where things were just selling and flying off the shelf in just a few days. I get in the door and they say, okay, I need to be moved out of state in 60 days. We gotta get this sold. Well, that's not always happening, you know, some of these are sitting a little bit longer. So I think some of it is, you know, their lack of understanding, or recognizing really what was happening in the market. But I think it's really important to set those expectations on the front end. At this point, knowing what we know, I know there's been a lot of uncertainty, but, you know, again, as we are figuring things out day by day, that's why, again, just going back to that communication, I think it's really important that we're keeping our clients aware of what's going on in the market, so that they're not feeling caught off guard or taken by surprise in any way.
So is everything a matter of either price or condition?
Yeah, I've got a couple that are definitely condition. I've got some sellers that are just in a real tight spot financially, where they've not been able to, either, you know, keep up with maintenance. I've got one that bought the house as an investment opportunity, and it ended up being something much bigger than they realized. I didn't help them with buying the house, so I kind of came in, even as a second agent. And, you know, they're scrambling. They told me recently they may not be able to pay the mortgage much longer. So some of those situations, yeah, I think it's just, it's been a combination of things. But otherwise, I feel like for most of these, they are priced well. I'm checking, you know, rerunning the comps each month for my clients. We're having those difficult conversations of, you know, we're priced well, the other homes in the market, you know, in your area or even in your neighborhood or even next door are priced appropriately. I'm calling the agents in the same neighborhood or in the same area that have their homes on the market, you know, just to have conversation with them, and I'm getting those phone calls too. So that I think is really, that's been a pleasant surprise for me, is getting some of those phone calls from other agents, that it's very much a, you know, we're all in this together.
Right.
We wanna see each other win, even though the houses might be next door to each other. Because it really is a collaborative team effort in a way.
Who's sitting here right now has got a listing that's sitting? All right, so speak to me, tell me what you're telling yourself right now. Virginia, let's start with you. What are you telling yourself of the houses that are sitting?
I just have one that's sitting, and it does not have a backyard. It's in a typical young family neighborhood, and the backyard, it's great if you just wanna drink wine out there and watch the birds, but there's no walkout backyard.
Yeah.
And that's really tough.
How do you fix that then?
Price, but
Yeah.
my seller says, I'll just sit on it, and I'm going, yeah, but the longer you sit on it, well, you know what I'm saying, but yeah.
Finish that sentence, the longer you sit on it, what happens, Virginia?
The lower your ultimate sale price is going to be.
Is that true, guys?
Yes.
That's very true, okay, so you can't fix the backyard, can you?
No, I cannot, you have to adjust it with price.
Okay, all right, who else has got a listing sitting right now? Angela, tell me about yours.
Twofold. I do have conversations with the other listing agents. It solidifies, it gives more credibility to when I say the market is slow. That it's not just us, it's the area, it's the neighborhood, it's whatever is happening in that surrounding. I have a lot on the south side, and we're getting unqualified buyers. So they'll send a pre-qualification letter, not a pre-approval letter. They'll send a pre-approval letter, and I talk to the lender, and the next thing you know, they're not qualified. They're asking for $10,000 or more in closing costs, and my seller is saying no. They're coming down on the price because we've been on the market for so long, and asking for closing costs, and my seller says no. So it's a mix of both. I have some that we're getting offers, they're just from really non-qualified buyers, and then others is just slow in that area. However, having a conversation with other agents, it gives you that credibility that it's not just something that you're making up. You can see the days on market, and they're looking at it as well. They see that the other houses aren't selling, so making sure that you're communicating not just with your seller, also the other listing agents is super important.
Who else has a listing that's sitting right now? Andrew, what are you telling your seller?
Well, sitting is different depending on, I guess, what you're used to. So for me, it's 11 days on the market and only 4 showings.
God bless you. That is
Buckle up.
lightning speed.
So we're still, like, the house is priced really well, we priced it aggressively to sell, however, it's just the, longer days on market and the neighborhood is really weird. I sold them that house and we like had some appraisal challenges when they bought it. So we had the conversation up front about price adjustments if needed every 14 days, so we're coming right up on that 14-day window for us to evaluate if it needs a price adjustment.
Cool. And I'm hearing that price adjustment needs to be around the 5% range. Are y'all hearing the same thing? Or is that something that I dreamed up in my brain, which is very possible?
Yeah, 5%.
5%? That's what I've been told. Yeah. Well, what's the price of it?
$3.99.
And to go $3.99 to $3.95 doesn't make a difference, does it? It needs to be 5%, so, we should be cool, so.
It has
And you
to
wanna have a
move to a
conversation with
different-
them? Look who's here, hey.
It has to move to a different, group of folks, to a new pool of buyers, or you're just doing something that you think is gonna satisfy a seller, and it doesn't, because it doesn't get any results. It does exactly the opposite.
And I agree with that. And you all, and this is my ivory tower, please forgive me, I've not sold houses in 30 years, except for 1-2 years ago, I sold one, okay, to a friend, okay? But doesn't price fix everything?
Everything.
Doesn't price fix everything? And it does, but you have a seller that says, I know I've got 350 in and I've already got it at 365, and that's as low as I can go. And so.
And I need to go buy X,
Exactly
so
right.
I can't,
Exactly right.
which is
yes.
why some people won't list right now.
Right.
So they're like, where am I gonna go? How am I gonna get that next one? Well,
Who else has got a list in this city? Tell us about it.
It's overpriced, she's got power lines,
Ah.
and she's not budging. She's fine with it being there, she said she'll either give it to her son or, she's
Wow.
fine with it, she's fine. And I'm
Draw
like,
up the quick claim deed.
I love this reality here that she'll take anything, but should you take something from an unmotivated seller? Oh, Jim, if you get that price for me, just list my house. I know it should be 500, we got it $1 million too, but just list it. If I can get that, I'll move. So sounds great. If you bring $1 million to my house, I'm gone.
so, I said, let's discuss how we can be aggressive and get it sold. She said, I'm fine, it's been 30 days, I'm fine. Okay.
Anybody have a comeback for that?
Why is she selling?
She's already bought something else.
wow.
So
Maybe if she moves all that stuff out to the new place, it might sell faster.
It's the power lines.
Oh.
It's
Plus there's
the
a lot of
power
stuff.
We
lines.
sell them with power lines.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in that,
Oh, I know.
so maybe once she gets
If she moves out.
right, it'll probably sell fast.
I
still
still know
gotta
what
get
you're
that-
talking about.
Yeah, I still gotta get that price down there.
This is kind of a, I know there's different caveats to the power line. It's like whether it's floodplain or, we talked about no backyard. I'd love to hear from somebody, what kind of, I'll say depreciation percent would you put when you're comparing comps of a house that has a big power line tower versus not in the same comp set? How much, the question is how much, where should that price be relative to comps? And Paige, I'm sure you could respond.
Well, Rob and I discussed it and he said it needs to be about 10%. And,
Is it more?
I didn't do nil.
Is it
And,
more?
but the,
No, it's like.
she wouldn't paint.
But Brenda, why did she move? What's the motivation?
She fell in love with another house I was selling.
And is she capable of carrying 2 mortgages?
Yeah.
Is she willing to, she's willing to do 2 mortgages and leave that house vacant?
What's the
But
risk
she's
of liability?
willing to let her son live in that other one.
Yeah.
You gotta
Get
find
the
a
quick
good
thing.
pain.
Yeah.
Quick
like
thing,
quick
quick
claim.
thing. I love that.
So, she didn't wanna paint, she loves her colors and she loves her stuff. And, I did get some of the stuff off, Jesus stuff out. And I love Jesus as much as anybody, I really do. But, there was a lot of stuff. And, so we've had this discussion and she loves her stuff.
Yep.
Does she have a mortgage on it?
Very little.
So her
Brenda,
carrying
You
costs
only
aren't that
compare
much.
power line houses to other power line houses.
Yes.
And there's not a percentage for power line houses.
Mm.
Because power lines run through a lot of different neighborhoods. And in some neighborhoods, it might be 10%, in some neighborhoods, it might be 20%. You can only compare power line houses to power line houses in the same neighborhood. And that
We live a lesson to
happens
give
to
us that blue check box.
No, that's why it takes.
I think another important thing, whether it's Brenda's or someone else's listing, is that you have to have them be patched. And there's a script to say, listen, I know it is your home. Now, as you're selling it, it's becoming an asset. And what can we do to maximize this asset for you and your family? Because get them excited about the next one, where this one is, I use this scenario all the time. Before you trade your car in, I don't think it matters, but everyone goes to get it washed, right? Make it look as good as it can, same thing.
Well, she's got 3 people that she knows that she will fit, that's waiting to come to the table. So I'm like, bring them on, we'll discuss with them. And, she's waiting to see if, you know.
Well, I'm gonna
anybody-
be 200 pounds next month.
Yeah, so, but, and I did the agent thing last week, I've given her feedback. I've had her show 2 more additional showings yesterday and same feedback. Price and, power lines.
Power lines. You should see
Is it
what
on
she
the
paid
tower?
for.
Is it on the tower or on the tower?
Anybody else have a house that they cannot sell right now, we need to talk about, anybody at all here? And so what are you telling people right now after 3 months? Is there something that you're telling them right now, like you gotta get the price down? Is there something that what are you telling me that you've had their house for 3 months now? 9 days, which you saw, that's about average right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, the conversation is really different for everybody based on their needs. We are doing the price reductions, I'm pushing the open houses if they've not let me have an open house. Doing the broker opens, you know, doing extra marketing, you know, we do a lot of marketing, our marketing is very heavy, but it just, you know, the combination, asking them to allow me to do the things that maybe they haven't wanted to for some reason. And that's a price reduction or an open house.
Does everybody set up their client, if I have a seller, I set them up like they're a buyer. Let's say the price is $400, I put them in there, let's say $350 to $425, so they can see what's coming on and what's going under contract right around them as if they were a buyer,
This is good. Very much.
period. Because unless they get a feel, what, you're either nobody's going under contract, or you're the only one not, or just, that's to me is.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, it's
We
like,
do it
do
a
you wanna be
little
the house that helps the other home
Right, I said, are we
or
gonna
do
sell
you
them
wanna
or are
be
they
the
gonna
one
sell
that
us?
sells?
And she's like, I don't get that. I'm like, we're either gonna be better or worse.
Paige?
Which would get
We
paid.
do it just a little different, but just what Liz is saying is, we set up each drip campaign as soon as we list the property for ourselves. And it only comes to us, so that we can pick up the phone. And that's one of our weekly touches is, you may know this already, but 123 Main Street just hit the market yesterday, and they're about that price point where you and I had originally talked. So, I'm gonna go take a look at it on Saturday, and I'll get back to you and see what we need to do to stay competitive.
Exactly, because you wanna be the one to make that phone call, you don't want your clients calling you and saying, oh
That's
my
right.
gosh, the house next door went on the market.
Right.
And you say, I had no idea.
Yeah, so that's why we set it up reverse, just that I'm the only one that gets that drip campaign, or whomever's listing it is on our team.
So guys, why do you think our office is doing a listing campaign right now? Because what I'm hearing out there, the houses are sitting more now than they have a long time.
Open houses.
What?
Open houses.
Open houses, that's sort of one we, are open houses working right now? They're working?
Right, if you do it consistently, yes, if you're just gonna do one, it's not gonna work.
But why, our open house is a good reason, but why else do you think we'll be focusing on listings right now?
Leverage.
Pardon me?
It's leveraging
Control
the
the
time.
market.
Exactly right, Joe. Exactly right, Joe. And guys, I mean, as Reed talked about so beautifully this morning, when are rates gonna hit 5%?
Who
Sometimes.
knows? Who knows?
Sometimes.
Maybe.
Huh?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I mean, in 5, I mean, in 5, exactly right, Joe. Okay, but when that happens, do you think that'll open up opportunities for buyers when they get to 5.75? Do you think that'll happen? And if you have a listing at that point, would that be a good idea?
Always.
So guys, that's why we're focusing this right now, because everyone else is focusing on everything else right now. And guys, you'll see it happening. We're getting close to Halloween now, and people will start slowing their business down for what?
Holidays.
Exactly right, for holidays, exactly right. Everybody slow it down. And guys, we've never slowed down during this time of the year ever. There's a reason why we have more listings right now than any other killer's office in Atlanta does. There's a reason. And we focus on that all the time. Because as my friend Jennifer would say, you have to list to last. And that's still true. Do you think all your listings, if you can keep them, will also eventually?
I do, because at this point, with the price reductions we made, I think they are all priced appropriately. And that's why I'm just telling my sellers, I really don't think we need to go any lower, I think we just need to be patient. Buyers are wiser, they are being more patient. I think we saw so many, buyers with buyer remorse after COVID because they were just desperate to get into a house, so they were paying too much for something that they weren't really excited about. And now, the interest rates are not that exciting for them. And so I think they're just being more cautious, they're not as quick to put in offers, they're not as quick to, and we're asking for their feedback and we're getting it. And that's something I prepare my sellers for, is like, you ask somebody for their opinion, you're gonna get it. And we've gotta be okay with what they say. But, you know, they're nitpicking the things, but, you know, going back to the, you know, whole power lines and things of that nature, I've got a couple of nasty driveways, like beast of a driveway. And that's the feedback we're getting. We didn't like the driveway. Well, there's nothing we can do about that, right? So it's a being patient and waiting for the right buyer, which is hard when you've got sellers that, you know, have a job waiting for them, or they've already moved out and they're gone. You know, or they're in financial straits that they need it to sell quickly.
So who in here has listed a house in the past month where it sold very quickly? Liz, tell me about it. Well, why did it sell quickly?
Because we priced it to accommodate the fact that it needed some delayed maintenance. Just up, you know, kind of upgrade-ish, and, that's the direction they decided to go to seller, because of financial whatever, and, you know, return on investment, blah, 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 blah. So,
Price point is?
400, could have been 475 with about $30,000 worth of work.
Wow.
See, that's that double ROI, yeah. You put in.
But can't save the world all the time, and
And what school district is?
Lassiter.
Lassiter School.
Wow.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Like, that's a success story. Who else has one they sold quickly? Paige, tell me about it.
It was on Fairfield Drive in Indian Hills. It's a house that I've sold four times. And, when we sold it to these folks, it had a significant renovation. And then these folks fluffed it a little bit. So it really was good looking. And, we did all of our upfront marketing, front-loaded marketing, for about 10 days.
All right, tell me more about that.
We have a program, it's kind of like Coming Soon on steroids. And we did all of our marketing and started setting appointments for 9 a.m. on Thursday. And, we priced it $25,000 below where it should have been. And it was a $900,000 house, and we priced it at $875,000. And after we went through the terms of the offers, we went to contract at $915,000. So, it was a seller that got it, that understood it and said, you know, if we go just a little bit below and create the urgency, then we can get to a place where we haven't been in the last year, really, in our farm.
I have a question.
Sure.
Did you find agents ready to drop commissions yet? Like on that purchase? Did somebody say to you, instead of 3, I'll take 2.5?
We had somebody that made an offer like that, and it was probably the most ridiculous thing in the world. I told her 3 times, please don't do that, this is reload, it doesn't matter.
Just curious, yeah. And if it had not been, okay, go back now to if it had not been a reload.
Okay.
I'm finding, like, there was $1.2 million. I called the agent to make the appointment, she's like, I'm gonna be real honest, it's supposed to be $1.35 million. He's not offering a commission on your side. Go at it and write in whatever you want, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Milton. So I was just curious.
You know, I'm seeing people that are real excited that we're offering, a competitive compensation on all of our listings.
Period.
But I did have one agent who wanted to drop it, and she wound up being the backup offer when I finally said, you know, the reason you didn't get it is you came in with a lower price and lowered your commission, and she said, well, I asked you to explain that to the client, and I said, and I told you it doesn't matter. The higher purchase price, you could have asked for more commission and raised the price even more, and he would have been happier because he wasn't paying the commission.
How ridiculous that the listing agent says, do this, and they did not do it. The listing agent said, I know my seller, I know what he or she will do, and they did not follow the direction of the listing agent. It's ridiculous how many agents don't even call the listing agent, they just send a blind contract over there, but BF not fax anymore. That's all. They got some chips and
I had that happen too, where the agent was trying to offer, ask for less commission and had a very similar conversation, for our circumstance, don't do it. And she did it anyway, and after we were under contract, I said, why? Help me understand. And she was like, well, because she actually came back and asked if we would give the buyer a credit for the difference. And I said, help me understand this, and she actually told me that her company does not allow her to take more than what she asked for. The company that she works for does not allow her to take
Well,
more
now
than
none
she
of us
asked for.
can.
Now you can't.
Nobody can.
I think
Exactly.
NAR allow that.
No, they have a set amount, and she's not allowed to ever put on her DBAs more than that,
The
so.
company would say some arbitrary amount, every
I got you. This is like a standard for their company.
Needs to change companies.
But that was also, we went on market, just about a week and a half ago, and we were under contract in 3 days, multiple offer situation, and we're under contract by asking price. Interesting what we're seeing.
Anybody else have a house that went under contract quickly in the past month? Anybody here at all went under contract quickly in the past month, okay? All right, so last but not least, how do you all see the market finishing the year? What do you see going, particularly, we talk about listings, what do you see happening, Stephanie?
What do I hope, or what do I?
We'll do both, we'll do both.
It's not a strategy.
You're exactly right, Jess.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if what everybody is saying is true, that they are waiting until after the election, and then they will be ready to buy,
Who has people saying they're waiting after the election? Who's saying that people saying that? Okay, all right, we'll talk about that.
then come on. But then I'm hoping that I am not sleeping at all in November and December, and hopefully all of these will get under contract. So that's what I'm anticipating.
Well, I like that, okay?
Hopeful for.
Anybody else? Tina, what do you see happening between now and the end of the year?
I've actually got a lot of buyers right now that are looking.
Wow.
So, I've had several over the last couple months, and, I've probably got 5 or 6 that are looking right now, so I'm hoping to get those closed. I do have some people that are saying they're either gonna wait till after the election, or they may just wait till spring.
What do you think will happen after the election?
There's gonna be one.
There's gonna be one. And guys, look at me. I'm voting for somebody, you're voting for somebody, okay? Maybe the same, maybe not the same, okay? I do not believe who the next president is gonna affect the way houses are sold around Georgia. I do not believe it. Maybe that's naive on my part. I don't believe whoever's president is gonna change what's just gonna happen in Atlanta, Georgia. So waiting after the election is one thing, so when the election comes, who believes the market will change after the election is over with? Like, tell me more about that, Paige, why do you think it changes?
Because I've lived through 10 elections,
You do?
and it's always the same.
What happens?
People relax.
Oh, okay. Because they know what's going on there.
It's just, it's one more thing that is an anxiety button.
Right.
And and look, we've said it over and over, it doesn't matter who wins. You know, if my guy wins, or if your guy wins, or if my girl wins and your guy wins, or whatever.
Exactly right, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, that's not.
It's just that the anxiety, that's one thing, write your anxiety list, okay? Politics is way up there. You think, Morgan? Not that Morgan. Mine is way up there because I'm very involved mentally in the outcome, because I love it, but it also causes me anxiety. And I don't want anything else on my plate right now.
That's a good one, yes, D'Angelo.
So I have a story. I had a buyer, so I sold her home for the first time. And when she bought it, she was just happy to get out of an apartment and she didn't carefully think about her family's needs. And so she ended up leasing that property out. And she said she felt like she made her decision too quickly and not on the right factors when she bought the first one. So I knew she wanted to kind of take her time and buy the second one. And she looked and put in offers and then terminated. And I was like, hey, this has to stop because it's not gonna be good for you or the people you refer if my reputation gets ruined by you doing this. So we had a meeting, sat down, and I'm like, just wait until January because she was like, the election, the interest rates, saving, debt, I'm like, pay off, save, wait until January. And kept her on the list where she was still getting properties. And so I talk to my clients and just let them know this is a really good window of opportunity while everyone else is kind of sitting on the sidelines. I've been negotiating excellent deals for my buyers and getting them close, pretty much they can write their own check right now, buyers. And so she was like, what would it look like for us to do this? And I've gotten her 9% in closing costs. She's VA and she wrote everything she wanted into that offer and it got accepted.
Exactly right.
So, who believes this is a great opportunity right now for buyers to get deals on houses?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Michael, why do you think that's true?
Oh, don't ask me, I'm a commercial guy.
But you help me. I'll spare.
I just think, I follow the listings from this office and others, and there just seems to be a lot of inventory coming available, and that's very encouraging. And, for a year or two now, I've listened to a lot of you say, I have buyers, but we don't have inventory, so there's choices to be made, so that's.
We're still seeing, the prettiest girl goes to the dance first.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty boy.
Oh, no.
But
we're still seeing that, it doesn't matter. The inventory is increasing, but the bottom layer of that inventory it shouldn't even be on the market. It needs somebody to go in there and say, okay, let's take this off the market, I'm gonna send my stager in, I'm gonna send my housekeeper in, I'm sending somebody in. And then we'll go back on the market, but I think everybody, and I'm gonna raise my hand too, everybody is wanting listings, and we maybe are taking them before they're ready. And that is a classic junior mistake. And I have a house that has a royal blue. See that Silverton? Where's Reed? Reed needs to buy this house. The inside of the house is that color.
Oh, my.
I would never take that listing.
The outside?
It's on the market now.
Anyway, I do believe in taking listings And of course, taking one step of motivate to sell is a big thing, which I take guidance, so I understand that. And why not you or somebody else? Now, some people, like the papers say no, I'm on enough hours in the day, I'm not gonna take a listing unless I think it'll sell. Actually, but others will think, well, I'm gonna try it because I don't have a lot of listings, but why not? If not me, why not me, is what you get, okay? So between now and the end of the year, I'd love for us to load up on listings, so when the market does break open, I like for us to be in charge of all the listings, particularly, if we can have a great market share in multiple areas. All right, anything else we need to talk about, Stephanie?
Just 3 other things I wanted to leave you with, and seems like common sense, I guess, but just a few things that have resonated with me lately is I get a lot of people, or agents, I should say, that thank me for answering my phone. Blows my mind that they would even have to thank me for answering my phone. But unless I am doing something like this or I am meeting with a seller, if I'm not answering my phone, I'm getting a preset text to say, I'm in a meeting, I'll call you back, or I'm on the other line, I'll call you back. And you know what, I actually do. You know, it's like, if you say you're gonna do something, do it. So answer your phone, that's key. In interviewing for a listing, you know, many times we're not the only agent walking in the door. Be prepared. I know that there are different models for the way that people go into a listing presentation. Sometimes they do, you know, have 2 meetings with the sellers. But I can't tell you how many listings I have secured recently over the last several months where the sellers call me back and say, you were the only one that walked in the door fully prepared, gave me pricing, ran all your reports, and we went over everything. And we felt like, you know, you were the one that we needed to go with because you were fully prepared. So do your homework, be prepared. And then, what was the other thing I was gonna say? I did have one other thing, it just escaped me. But yeah, I think those are definitely, you know, key pieces. Oh, I know what the other thing was about, you know, going back to being kind, when you mentioned that earlier. We might be interviewing against other agents. If we don't get the listing, because sometimes that happens and that seller is following up to let you know, leave on a good note, wish them well, thank them again for the opportunity to be there. Again, I can't tell you how many times I have been called back because they gave that other agent a shot for 3 months or 6 months and nothing happened. And so I'm the second agent in the door. That happens so often, and they even thank me for the way that I responded to them. I'll even ask, you know, what was the deal breaker? What could I have done better? I'm always coming from, you know, a place of learning and wanting to grow, and they appreciate that. So kindness, again, goes a long way in so many different directions.
We don't ever talk about the other agent.
Second wife, third listing.
You're right. We don't talk about, even though they may be at a company that does no business, we don't talk about their agents, you know what we do, I'm sure they're fine. Thank you very much. That's why I love that. So guys, anything else we want to ask her? Anybody else want to add anything to this? So, yeah, Jalen.
I just want to add in, we got a couple of drives going. Courtney Newton, she had a boot shoe drive. Are we still taking collection, Sherry?
Yes, we are. For another week, we're gonna take collections. So bring in any, used, gently used boots. She's gonna take a truckload up to North Carolina next week. It's about to get cold up there.
Yeah.
And then, and actually I went to Goodwill on Saturday and bought 2 brand new pair of water boots that had never been at Goodwill, that have never been worn. Super scores. I love me some Goodwill. Anyway, yeah, so we're collecting that.
Yep.
Downstairs in the box.
And Miss Authorine, she's collecting dress clothes. This morning, I went to put it on a pair of pants. I couldn't fit the pants. I said, you know what? I'm taking them to Miss Authorine. So she's doing the drive, and then we are taking collections for KW Cares also, just to go a number of places if you all can contribute.
We are still collecting for KW Cares. We're collecting money to go to people all over the country because there's need here in Georgia, right? There's also needs in South Carolina and North Carolina. Florida. And so guys, just realize we're going, the goal for the country is to raise $7 million. And a lot of times, Keller Williams, they're the first people there. We're the first to get generators to our place. We're the first to get them out of here. We're the first to be able to help your son out. So I just realized there's a need. So if you can do it, okay, guys, our goal was to get $10,000. The goal for most offices is 6, but because we're a little bit bigger, we increased our goal. And I think we're, Sheila, you remember?
Right over 8.
$8,000. So we're $2,000 short of our goal. We hit our goal because some guys, people are in need right now. Keller Williams, that's what part of our culture. So please help out if you can, because we like to be able to help our neighbors out, to help us out when the time comes. So a lot of good stuff going on. Anything else before we close?
We have a meeting, if anybody wants to stay and help us with this spooktacular, it's coming up quick.
Yeah, and I just wanna add, I think I heard the numbers that we had 100 Keller Williams agents that lost everything in North Carolina and Tennessee. You guys we're getting ready to add our Keller agents to that list too. Every house, everything. So not only do they.
Neighborhood that you sell is gone? Office that you selling is gone?
All the closings are gone.
All the paid, not get paid now. And that's why.
Everything is gone.
Yeah, that's why us hitting that goal of 10,000 says that we care, and guys, y'all are amazing, you give it. So guys, whether you give $5 or 500, whatever, please give the best you can, and let's help our neighbors out, because that's what I do. Anything else that I want to talk about? Anything wrong? Thank you guys for your patience, thanks for coming in, I love seeing you guys, stay for the meeting.
Got some good notes there.
Yeah.
Send me the revised version, I'll take a look at it. I'll let you know my feedback this afternoon.
I gotta rewrite it because it was written mostly from buyers.
Okay.
So